Hello aspirants, welcome to Vice. So after 1 month, Mali, welcome back to the session. So before going into the session, and many thanks to all my subscribers and whoever had faith in me and అందరికీ అసలు నన్ను ఫాలో అయ్యి ఫెయిత్ ఉంచుకున్నందుకు రియలీ ఐఎమ్ గ్రేట్ఫుల్ అండ్ చాలా మంది నాకు మెసేజ్ చేశారు టు రివీల్ my identity and trying to ask my details, but I would like to remain anonymous for some personal and professional reasons. And mostly ఈ ఇనిషియేటివ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయడానికి మేజర్ రీజన్ నా జర్నీ అనేది చాలా లాంగ్ జర్నీ. ఈ జర్నీలో ఎప్పుడు ఒకటే ఫీల్ అయ్యేదాన్ని, సమ్మన్ ఐ నో అండ్ హూమ్ ఐ కెన్ ట్రస్ట్, నాతో ఒకరు ఉంటే బాగుండు, మేబీ నేను ఈ స్టెప్ తీసుకునేదాన్ని కాదేమో, ఇది చేసి ఉండేదాన్ని కాదేమో, దట్స్ వై ఇట్ హెస్ బీన్ ఎ లాంగ్ జర్నీ అని ఎప్పుడు అనిపించేది. అండ్ చాలా మంది కంటెంట్ ఆర్ వీడియోస్ అనేవి ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ చాలా ఫిల్టర్డ్గా ఉండేవి. అదర్ థింగ్ ఇంకొకటి వచ్చేసి చాలా యూట్యూబ్లో చాలా అవైలబుల్ ఉండేవి, బట్ అప్పట్లో లైక్ 3-4 ఇయర్స్ బ్యాక్ ఏంటంటే అంతా హిందీలోనే అవైలబుల్గా ఉండేవి వీడియోస్ అన్ని. సో అసలు కొన్ని అయితే నాకు అర్థమయ్యేవి కాదు హిందీలో ఉండడం వల్ల. సో అలా తెలుగులో ఎవరైనా ఉంటే బాగుండంటే మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్స్ వర్ ఫ్రమ్ కోచింగ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్, వాళ్ళ సైడ్ నుంచి న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ కవరేజ్ కానీ ఇంకా మిగతా ఎక్సెట్రా ఎక్సెట్రా ఇవన్నీ ఉండేవి. బట్ నో బడీ స్పీక్స్ ఇన్ ఏ అన్ఫిల్టర్డ్ వే. ట్రూత్ అనేది యూజువల్ గా మనకు బాగా తెలిసిన వాళ్ళే చాలా క్లియర్ గా మంచిగా చెప్పగలుగుతారు. అసలు అందులో లొసుగులు ఏమున్నాయి, అసలు అందులో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏమున్నాయి అనేది. అలా నాకైతే ఎవరైతే గైడెన్స్ లేరో ఐ జస్ట్ ఫెల్ట్ దట్ ఇన్ ఇయర్స్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసాం దీని మీద, అట్లీస్ట్ మేబీ ఐ షుడ్ హెల్ప్ సమ్మన్. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇట్ టుక్ సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ టైం, కొంత టైం ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయాల్సి వచ్చింది యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ మీద. సో అందుకనే కంప్లీట్లీ డెడికేటెడ్ గా వీడియోస్ చేయకపోయినా అట్లీస్ట్ ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు హెల్ప్ ఇన్ సమ్ వే ఆర్ ద అదర్. నా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అనేది మీకు యూజ్ అవుతుంది అని చెప్పేసి ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ దిస్ ఇనిషియేటివ్ అండ్ ఐ గాట్ ఎ హ్యూజ్ రెస్పాన్స్ అండ్ ఐఎమ్ రియలీ థ్యాంక్ఫుల్ అండ్ గ్రేట్ఫుల్ టు ఆల్ మై సబ్స్క్రైబర్స్. నా స్టూడెంట్స్ కానీ నా మెంటర్షిప్ తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా కానీ ఆల్ దే హ్యావ్, ఐ హోప్ దే హ్యావ్ బెనిఫిటెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ దాట్. అండ్ నా ఇంకా సెషన్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోదాం. సో ఫస్ట్ వచ్చేసి మనం గ్రూప్ 1 గురించి మాట్లాడదాం. సో ఐ హోప్ మీరు, అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ బిఫోర్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద సెషన్, some people have requested me to make a video in English. So I think you might be, whoever is listening will be comfortable with my English, బికాస్ ఎలాగో నేను గైడ్ చేసే వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మోస్ట్లీ ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం వాళ్ళే. తెలుగు మీడియం వాళ్ళకి నేను గైడ్ చేయలేకపోతున్నాను, ఐఎమ్ రియలీ సారీ, బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఇస్. సో I'm going to continue my session in English for this one. So coming to the group 1, as expected, most of the papers and few questions always go unconventional and they might be bounces. It is always like that. So it's all about how we handle these bouncer questions based on the knowledge we earn from the other questions. Okay. So first, coming to the essay, only thing is that we did not get any reflective essays. Most of them are analytical and conceptual based questions. Unless you have written few essays on your own, you will not be able to manage the essay papers. And other thing is that coming to GS papers, there is like 2, 3, 4, 5 people from UPSC background has mostly had difficulty in attempting history paper because it's very unconventional and is not even confined to specific AP topics. Because if you see the questions like be it Kakatiya's fort, okay, or Kalyani Chalukyas, and there's one more question on 1969 role of Telangana students. So these are very unconventional and these are something which we don't expect. So if there are like 10 questions from Andhra particularly aspect, in that if 2 or 3 of the questions are not from the areas which we usually which we study, it's very, there is a difficulty. And at the same time, especially UPSC people, because when you are already preparing for UPSC, it's a new subject which you have to catch up. So there you have to take the advantage of the paper 3, 4 and 5, where you must have been already prepared even in AP, okay, in the areas of AP. And other thing is that if you observe this paper in 3, 4, 5, I have observed that most of the questions seems to be like just just give an input for ChatGPT and it gives you some output questions, because they are so lengthy. If you see some GS 3 question, for example, okay, let's see GS 4 questions. So if you see in GS 4 questions, it was too lengthy. It is just like if you give an input to if you give an input to the ChatGPT, it gives the similar questions. There's no much difference. There's nothing new from the topics which you haven't heard. But if you compare with 2023 paper, even ChatGPT cannot, these kind of questions will come. It cannot even, give a probability or expectations that these topics will come. But these are straight out that they have given. For example, look at this in 14th question B. This, like, they just gave it critically explain the development of transport, energy and ICT. It was straight from the topic. They did not give any particular issue from this. Maybe they would have had an experience on what AP's transport, energy and ICT in Andhra Pradesh. They would have given a particular thing, right? But they did not give such kind of question. It was simply like you just give an input and it was a very generic question like developments and how these sectors contribute to the economic growth and connectivity. And look at these questions. They are too lengthy and it's highly difficult to complete the paper in a particular time period. See, there are three questions. Examine the role of industrial sector in India's economic development. How does industrialization contribute to income generation, employment, modernization of the economy? Support your answer with relevant example. So these kind of lengthy questions where there are like at least 4 to 5 subtopics in each one. You have to pre-plan. You can't even over-explain any one particular topic. You can't even give an analytical your understanding on that particular topic. They just simply try to make sure that you have an idea on each topic and you just scribble something about each topic. This is very broad view, right? For suppose this is the syllabus and these are the topics and these are the subtopics. And again there are some subtopics in this, right? Look at this. Okay, instead of asking these particular specific topics where a student from Andhra Pradesh would read, they simply ask this. So here there is a scope that everybody can write answers on this one, right? So there is high subjectivity. There will come high subjectivity when you even evaluate this like who has written right, because everybody would write. Everybody, there are a lot of initiatives. Anybody could write. So there will be high competition. So this is how the evaluation might go subjective and some people might lose in this and some people might gain extra marks in this one. So but however, don't get disheartened. We gave whatever we could for this exam. Ultimately what we have to do is we have to focus on the uh, on interview now. We can't do anything. All that we have done, it's done and dusted on the last day itself. So it's over now. The only thing that is left in our hands is prepare for interview. Okay, because you might not be given that much time when it comes to that place. So try to be prepared for the interview now. Focus on that one. Or if you are focusing on UPSC, whatever it is, just go ahead with that. Now don't think much about how the evaluation will go on. Okay, results might take like 1.5 months at max. Like for suppose take May and June. The results might come in July, mid or in the end. Okay, so I hope I am done with group 1. Now after slowly we'll go to into the students queries and then I'll be addressing. So next coming to UPSC. So many of my students have took mentorship from me for UPSC. So there's just last 15 days, like 2 weeks from now. So what are you going to do in this UPSC? I know I can understand that because of the India-Pakistan tensions that were going on between these two countries, many people got disturbed and some even got deviated on the ongoing developments and all. And other thing is that some people even thought that it will be postponed. Yes, it's very normal. You don't have to regret about it. It's very normal now that the UPSC even there were rumors that UPSC has even went to an extent that it was about to propose the postponement or discuss about it. But since now there is ceasefire, I think so exam is going to be on schedule. Whatever changes will happen, most of the changes will be taking into consideration of those border states, but not for the other people. So since Andhra Pradesh is here, we don't have much thing that we have. There is no vulnerability that we must have faced that time. So please don't have such kind of hopes and focus on this one. So what you're going to do in this last 2 weeks. So what you'll do is, now if for suppose there are three stages of people. Someone who has already given so many attempts and they have been preparing for last 3-4 attempts, or be it more than 2 attempts, is something they are going to be very serious about it. What are you going to do? And there is other stage of people who must not have studied much, but in the last minute they are just in hurry and finding the shortcut to make sure that somehow they want to be in the mains list. And the other stage of people are like in between. They are neither too new or neither too experienced. They are in between. Like they must have worked so much hard for this exam, but still they are not able to score some good marks because they are in confusion. Like in some tests, they might have got very good marks, like 80 plus or 90 plus in the test series or mock test. But some tests they might get less than 60. So that is where they get motivated. So it's a kind of mixed feeling for them whether they are going to succeed or not. So we'll considering all of this. Let's discuss about UPSC. What to do in this last 2 weeks. So first, suppose someone who has already prepared so much and consistently you might be getting 80 plus or something. So I don't think you'll be seeking for some advice. What you have to do is just go with the flow, revise what you read. That's it. And if you are not willing to study again and again because you have read so many times and that you are not in a mood to study more, so what you have to do, you just have to pick up some test series or any random test somewhere you're not going to uh, feel like studying. So for suppose you wanted to do polities and environment is the area somewhere more questions can be expected. So what you have to do, you don't want to read the same Lakshmikant. It's very boring that you don't want to read Lakshmikant. What you have to do is just pick up the any random test. No, there's no issue. Just take up any good, reputed, and credible institution. Okay, take that paper and keep solving. Okay, whenever there is some doubt of some question that you are not knowing or anything, just open the book and check it. There is no particular thing that you have to sit and do the test properly. No need. Just do it and check for the answer immediately. So it's like a task. You will get curious and you will get interested in studying more and more and learn more and more. The other people who have not at all prepared or who have been studying only for the last 2 months by taking the magazines and all, I think instead of solving the test, I think you should revise more because you're not in a position that you can give tests and get a lot of experience just with the test. No, I think you should read more, give time for reading a lot. Try to gain so much, try to revise what you have read. For suppose there are 10 topics and you are not able to cover these 10 topics all at one go. So what you have to do is pick 5 and sacrifice the other 5. No issue, but read the 5 at least 5 times. Instead of reading 10 topics for 2 times, read 5 topics for 5 times. That is something, it will make a huge difference. Because by reading 5 topics, you would be able to eliminate some of the options even for the other 5 topics with, if at all questions come from that area. Okay, now coming to the other people who are in the middle, like they have an experience and at the same time, but they are worried because of the mixed set of markings which they are getting from the mock test. These are the huge majority. For suppose cutoff is 87. These are the people who always fall above 80 but do not cross 87. So what are we going to do in this last 15 days? What we have to do is, in this last 15 days, these are very crucial. Just try to be curious and try to love whatever you're studying this 15 days. For suppose you wanted to give a test, give it and try to whatever test you give, try to understand the question paper. Here you have to understand because your margin is like only 10 marks. How will you increase this 10 marks? By now starting to practice test. Actually in my mentorship I have already taught everything to my students. But since you have not, whoever is not there in part of my mentorship, I would suggest you that these last 15 days, don't solve more papers, but at least solve like 10 papers, like daily one. It's like a task for you. Okay, what you have to do is just pick up that topic. Okay, and 100 tests will be there, right? In these 100 tests, every test series of any institute has 20 topics just redundant, which are not useful for the exam, because these are the questions where they just try to fill the paper 100 questions. Okay, so for suppose they might have covered very good questions but not in the same test, because they must have covered important questions in many tests, so they need new topics. So after every test the quality of questions will come down, and they try to choose every topic from last year March or last year February. You can't stretch yourself to read till there. This kind creates some kind of fear in you, and you will lose confidence. So don't do that. Identify those 10 questions which you will not read and ignore those questions. Just simply ignore. Now focus on these 80 questions. In these 80 questions, for suppose you might have known at least 40 questions in this, right? The remaining, for suppose you attempted 70, and in that 40 are right and 30 are wrong, however you got very less marks. So don't worry about that one. What you have to do is, here, for suppose there are, like I told you, right, 40 questions have been right for you and 30 questions have been wrong, because you attempted this. It means you have tried it. So try to understand these questions. How are you going to solve this one? How you have to solve is, uh, understand the question how it is set, whether the institute have, sometimes institutes itself make you confused, and you might be having a very good clarity on this question, but they might try to confuse you. Or for suppose they have given a very good question, but it is you who hasn't given a proper good reading about the topic, and it is your mistake that you didn't study. Please fill the gaps now. Okay, especially if it is polity and economy, and environment. Okay, polity and economy, why I'm saying is that mostly these are like static. There is never like current affairs or something in polity. Very few questions of polity current affairs, like something happening, but the something has happened in recent, but the details of that are usually the static itself. So try to cover the polity in a proper way, that you are revise those static syllabus and try to imbibe that in yourself. Okay, so what you have to do is, so there is some gap in polity question. You are not able to understand that one. Fill that particular gap in that particular topic and read a number of times. Okay, so like that, in these 30 questions, whatever are not, you are not able to, why it went wrong, identify that one. Why this option? Ignore the topics which institutes have been confusing you. Leave those. But there are some very good questions where you would have applied very nicely. For suppose they must have twisted some very silly. There is a statement in coaching institutes paper setting, right? In the MCQs. So in these MCQs, three options are given or four options are given, and very silly thing has been changed to make it wrong. These are some silly changes that they make, and you unnecessarily take stress and start understanding things in a very micro way, which is very harmful for the exam. Don't go micro. UPSC always asks questions from a bird view, and try to understand that bird view, and build common sense within your mind. This comes with practice, and use your self consciousness also. Because of this consciousness you build and the kind of common sense you build, you will obviously understand that the option set is not close to something which I have read. You don't know the exact answer, but at least you will be able to understand that the option is not close to whatever I feel that is a conventional understanding of that particular topic. Okay, you might feel that, like, I don't know the exact answer, but this might not be wrong, because I'm damn sure that it is not this one. it seems very extreme statement, or this value seems very high for me. Okay, so like that you have to build the common sense. So these kind of so solve these 10 tests, or at least less than 10 tests, no problem. If you want to solve 5, you can solve 5 also, but make sure that while solving the paper you are ignoring those 20 redundant questions and focus on only 80, in which you have 40 you have already marked it. Okay, you are going to uh, out of these 80, 40, and these you are going to gain marks in this 30. You have to make sure that you have to be plus 10 in these 15 days. Focus on this one, how to solve that question, how to find the wrong answer. Don't go with the general coaching mindset. What it makes is, the more you solve the paper, right, instead of focusing on those very good questions, you end up focusing on the other silly questions which are of no use, but it ultimately confuse you and spoils your clarity of the exam. And another thing people lose in this 10 marks is out of panic. The moment they see the question paper, they get panic, and they get worried, and they overthink on that particular topic, and they just want to make sure that question will never go wrong. That is not possible. It's not in your hand. So don't get panicked, and just leave whatever you learn, that will ultimately reflect in your paper. So there's no point of taking tension or anything. These all tests or whatever you are solving, it has all prepared you to face any kind of question paper. Any mock test you are giving or any other thing you are taking, right? Don't take it to very personal or to the heart, the marks and all. Just prepare yourself. You are preparing yourself to sit in the exam, to whatever the question paper might come. Okay. So be relaxed in these 15 days. If you want to solve the papers, and try to enjoy these 15 days. These 15 days are something you are going to uh, refine your understanding on the topics or subjects. Okay, refine your understanding. You have understood, you have read a lot, you have done a lot of things. Only thing you have to do is that you have to refine your understanding. Like somewhere you might be deviating. The topic is like this, somewhere you read till here and somewhere you might have deviated. Your understanding might have, or your imagination while reading might have gone a little bit tilted. So don't go that side. Make your concepts very straight. Okay, so this is what is the plan I would suggest for these last 2 weeks. Okay, and so solve the question and understand the techniques, and solve the PYQs also, no issue. But you have to understand, catch that one thing from that paper, like that particular option is damn sure wrong. Okay, try to pick up those topics, try to answer those questions which you are having strength. For suppose there is a question which you are not able to answer at any cost, but you just want to answer it in some way. If there is at least some 2 3 statements which you are able to understand it but don't know whether it is right or not, you may try to attempt. But if at all you have no idea, just don't try to attempt that question. Just cross it, so that you will never see it, because once you come to 100th question, there is never going back. You doesn't have any much time to come back and see these questions, because the paper is always lengthy, and hardly any time left for you to come back and check for the questions in the second round. I hope you people have got what I'm saying. Okay, revise a lot, give emphasis on quality, environment and geography. Other than this, I wanted to tell one more thing. In UPSC, there's a tip. Whenever I think for this tip, I would say that people should have some idea about English terms. Okay, if you don't have this idea on these English terms, maybe it will be difficult for you to answer these questions. Because for suppose there are some questions by you can break the word and you can find the answer. These are those questions. At least in UPSC, 2 questions will come like that. Only with little bit of English proficiency and curiosity, people who always try to pick up the term and try to understand the meaning of the term will definitely be able to answer these kind of questions. So from now onwards, you can start developing. Suddenly you see a question, just simply don't read what it is. Try to use your own way of decoding the question. Break the words, break somewhere. For suppose there is a recent one I have seen, one of my students has asked, there's a question, it's about pneumoconiosis, or there is some disease called silicosis. The person is not from science background, or maybe he or she hasn't learned that particular question. So what happens, you have, because just you don't know the question, you will just ignore that topic. Don't ignore that. If you read properly, somewhere some term you might catch it. It's very easy, right? Now it is very easy for you because you must have read. But there are some questions, something like this will come, which you might think you don't know, but you have to break that word. Then you will definitely get the answer out of it. Use ChatGPT a lot. This is the last time. Enough of, you need not go into test series papers, solutions. Start using ChatGPT immediately. As soon as you read the question, for suppose you are not getting, just open ChatGPT and ask any silly questions to it, and it is going to answer, and you're going to get your answer. So use ChatGPT like your friend, someone who has knowledge, and it is going to give you the straight answer, right? I hope you got it, and wish you all the best and prepare well for this last 2 weeks. After this, now let's get into this. So I have asked my students to ask some queries about regarding anything. So I would be answering these questions. Without any late, let's go into the session. These questions. Now, so first thing is that, hi ma'am, can you make video on how it is like living in Delhi for a middle class aspirant? Okay, so see, there are from Andhra, many people, I don't know if anybody has done a video on this, whether they want to go to Delhi or not. I would like to say that first thing, living in Delhi is, for some it is very expensive, because there are two areas in Delhi. One is Patel Nagar, and another one is Old Rajendra Nagar. It depends on where you are living. Or there are many other areas where students live, like Lakshmi Nagar, and many different places. Some people stay in like residential places or somewhere. So these are the places. Old Rajendra Nagar is something very expensive, very expensive. I would say that minimum spending is 25,000 if per month, if you are able to fetch that one, because only then you can study peacefully. You can live for 10,000 also, but there is no peace and there is no study in that. Why it is like that, I would tell you. If you are able to spend minimum 25, especially girls, in the name of security, there for girls it's a bit expensive, including the rooms. Okay, I'll tell you all the details, how it like monetarily how much it is going to take. Okay, for this session on going to Delhi will be taken in the last. Okay, and coming to few more questions. There is one student who I asked that another key issue with my prelims is I'm stuck at 75 to 80 range. How to increase my prelims accuracy? So accuracy is something that comes with revision. You have to revise a lot. So if your accuracy is not good at any point of time, despite doing so giving 2-3 attempts or anywhere, still you are stuck in this one, you have to revise a lot. So this accuracy issue comes when you read a lot without revision. Like for suppose 100 topics are there, these people read 100 topics and revise only maybe once. Their accuracy comes when you read 50 to 60 topics perfectly and confidently and revise 3-4 times. They don't care about those 40 questions. They just give focus on the 60 important questions and they'll read that only. They'll ignore the other 40. But people who are facing the issue of accuracy, I would say that they try to read and complete everything. Everything. Even though it is not out of their capability, they just try to read because it is given. That is not smart work. Something many people don't do it. Smart work is something you need to know where you have to stretch yourself and where you have to not stretch yourself unnecessarily, and you have to save your energy. This exam is all about saving energy and understanding what not to read. Okay, now coming to next question. Hi ma'am, I completed my BTech this year. Want to know about the difference between online coaching versus offline? Is offline coaching in Delhi mandatory to clear exam? As an ECE student, I am torn in both socio versus anthro versus PSAR. Which option should I take? Okay, coming to online and offline coaching. See, you must have watched by now, the results have come, and you must have watched many toppers, and many toppers claim that I haven't taken coaching. It is completely, I will say, it's wrong. There's nothing like they haven't taken coaching. Only thing is that formally they must not have taken coaching. But now that many of the classes are available on Telegram channels, everybody knows this one. Even classes are being uploaded. So you might get there. You might get all the content you need from the Telegram channels. So people are subscribing to that. They are not unnecessarily going to Delhi and attending the classes, because going to Delhi is not just only studying. Studying is only one factor that you have to focus. But the hurdles that you will face there is like at least 7-8 factors which you should be ready. For suppose there are rental issues there. You simply feel that you are draining your parents' money after going there. Completely you are just draining your money going to Delhi, and you'll always feel stressed and strained that your parent, and you take the burden of your parents that you're wasting their money. So to save their money, you do something extra work. So because of that work, you're just simply deviating yourself from your studying. The main thing you went there, instead of doing that, you try to save money. For example, I would say where they save. Girls, instead of taking tiffin or something, taking opting for some cook, they just try to cook by themselves. You are simply wasting your time. It's going to cost you a lot. Okay. So this is how you should unnecessarily take a burden of your parents. Don't take that. You are for studying, and this is very toughest exam, and you have to focus on exam only. You have to sacrifice everything. And so these people who have already, who are not in the formal coaching, they must be opting for offline. So just go into these offline ways, find out the ways. Telegram options, just go into that and take any kind of course available there, and understand that if you really want to go to Delhi, I would say prove yourself in prelims. If you prove yourself in prelims, then I would suggest just pack your bags. Once you clear the prelims, pack your bags and go to Delhi. That's it. Without proving anything, simply don't think that you will go to Delhi and you will clear the exam. No, it's not going to happen. There are many other factors which always have to be in your favor, and that is not going to happen. Especially for southern students who come from South India, where you face a lot of issues like there is cultural issues, language issues, food issues. You don't get a food which you eat normally at home. If you are used to that roti, kind of eating that roti and other things, that is fine. But I don't think you will be happy with that, because we have this habit of eating vegetables, but getting a vegetable other than potato there is very difficult. You have to adjust to eating only potatoes, any sabji with any curry, with mostly aloo or other protein food. So you have to get used to it. And culturally, there's a lot of different culture. I'll go in detail about that later. So I would suggest, if you are not getting time to study at home, there are other plans. Just go to any other place which is cheaper and find some good company. Always have a good company. I will not say that only Delhi environment gives you a good company. No, you can stay anywhere, but have a good company. See if they're serious, only then maintain that good company, and always have some good discussions. Be it anything. I will not say only UPSC discussions. You can discuss about sports. You can discuss about any other current issues, or something you picked up a topic on documentaries, movies, anyone. Okay. So have some good company. This journey is also about having a good company with you. So coming to optional, I think optional also is not something you just pick up randomly. Take your time, no problem. Watch some YouTube videos and see whether you are interested in reading something which is scoring very easy, or whether you want to love that subject and at the same time uh, learn from that subject, or something which is you link yourself to the present context. For suppose answer is not something you link yourself. You cannot connect with anything. You will simply feel that it's something static, and every year you read the same thing. Sociology is something if you are interested in society and their deep rooted culture, customs, everything. then you may go for social. PSAR is something very dynamic subject. Initially you might read some static, but there is some dynamism in that. Dynamism is something which keeps on changing. Every year you will not read the same thing, but you will like it. Like you will understand that you are learning something. So if you want to take, then you can take PSAR. I'll make a separate video on that, how to choose that one. Even while taking a coaching or for PSAR or something, try to read on your own. If you are able to read something on your own, and after that if you really feel the necessity that I have to take a coaching, then the moment you open the classes and listen, you will understand the subject very nicely, and you will understand which gaps you have to fill there. Also start reading on your own. Everything is available online. Just get the books from Delhi. Just message them. There are a lot of people who actually there are a lot of Telegram channels too, where toppers are sharing their materials and notes, and see if you like that, and if you are able to understand the notes is very well written, just then take out the printout and get from Delhi that particular topper's notes and read on your own. Start reading on your own, and wherever you are not understanding, just make a big line and try to lead those topics that these are the areas which I don't know, so definitely I need a coaching. Then you can join some Telegram channel, or you can shift yourself to some place to learn about it. Okay. Next, let's go to the next question. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I haven't studied for this year UPSC. Should I give this attempt or skip? I got 80 plus in some mock test. Some I got in 50s. I am not confident. Can you please suggest whether to give exam or next year? Okay. So this is what I have told you. So there are some students who actually feel that in some tests they might get very good marks. So in some tests you might get less than that. So understand that it is the same person. It is same person you that you are who is giving the exam. So what is changing? The paper setting is changing. It is testing you to adjust yourself to the kind of paper you are giving. Always don't give in the same mode. The first thing a student has to understand while solving the paper is what kind of paper is it? How will you choose it? Whether it is easy, moderate or tough. When you are able to guess this part, then you will able to understand how many you are going to attempt. Okay? Accordingly, you should not panic. You should always feel that if I have read this much and I am not able to solve, then it is the same for every other person. Okay, so don't worry about that. For now, you read everything, and if you really don't want to waste your attempt, or it depends. For suppose you are just giving your first attempt and you are getting 80. It's okay. It's one attempt, right? Just go and experience that attempt. For suppose it's like your third or fourth or maybe fifth attempt and you're still having this confusion of getting marks and all, I would say simply relax yourself. First, don't panic. I think this is somewhere you are just taking the anxiety of the paper, and that anxiety is reflected in your marks. For suppose if it is a tough and you are just giving the same strategic answers which you have thought and you are getting 50s, or and if the paper comes easy and you're able to score it and you're like happy. So don't have this kind of mood swings, or this kind of this thing. Whatever the question paper it is, maintain the same mood. No problem. For suppose you got 50, you should be like, it's okay, that's fine. One test cannot decide me. Okay, then somewhere you got 50 or 43, should not, it's okay, be fine like that. You are expecting 80 marks, or you are expecting 100 marks but you got only 70, that is fine. Just make up your mind, it's okay. I tried, I will try again, I will learn from this test, I will learn again another things. Okay, try to do this, and focus, revise whatever tests you have given till now. Please revise those tests properly. Any question from that comes, make sure you don't make again those mistakes, because in the exam finally you should not be like, yeah, are yaar, I have prepared for this topic, I have solved this question and still I'm not able to answer. Don't be like this. If you have read this one, please make sure you are confident and you are able to answer this question. Okay, don't make mistakes on the topics which you have already read. Please speak about your experience of writing group 1 mains and if possible expected cutoff. See, regarding expected cutoff, nobody can guess this one, because this year paper is different, government is different, or everybody is different. So there will be variations, and this I cannot say cut off or anything. Let the time go, let the time pass, and then we will slowly understand, because APPSC is not something that is happening every year. Okay, so since the uh, number of seats are like last year only and less than that, so we can expect cutoff to be little bit on the higher end, like maybe for suppose it is like last year cutoff, you can expect like 5-10 marks more than that one. Still, I would say that how will you even know how much you're going to gain, right? So why do you bother about cutoff now? Instead of, I already told my experience. Like in my view, history is something which went unconventional, and science and tech. But as far as I know, my students have written good. Science and tech, they have handled the paper very nicely. Even the questions which were not there in our 100 questions, they were able to handle it in some way. Okay. Also, how to tackle reflective essays. The test series marks are not reflected in my UPSC essay. This is a very common problem. Test series, they give you around 100. But I would say if you are getting 100 in test series, you actually get 85, 80 to 85 in UPSC. I know this trend. This has been since many years, because even when I was working in a coaching institute, I gave a student 70 because the essay deserved 70. But the student has complained that in his UPSC attempt he has got 120. And if UPSC gives 120, why did I even get 70? Later, I clearly took my stand that your essay deserves this much only. I'm not going to give 120, because you might have written that time very good, but in coaching institute you might have written something, but in main essay that moment you might have written something else. There's mistake of nobody's. Okay, so don't judge yourself by that. Essay is something in UPSC separately reflective essays. I think you should focus especially on reflective essays. For that, you can ping me personally. I've guided my students to how to tackle these reflective essays. If you have any doubts on that, you can just ping me, and you can opt for mentorship also, especially for essay. Next, good afternoon, ma'am. Please provide info about how to tackle pressure in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I have told you. Don't take any pressure. Uh, Last 5 days are gone because of this tensions. If at all still something that is deviating you or something, just leave the books, go out, keep some headphones, relax yourself, watch some movie or something. That's it. But once you are done, get back to study after that. Don't just because I said that, just don't relax completely for yourself. Always make sure when you are coming back for studying. But if you're doing something other things, don't remember about exam. Just do it completely. Give full-fledged entertainment, full-fledged. If you're enjoying, enjoy it, and come back. Okay. Prepare yourself for coming back. Next, how to tackle the pressure. That's what. Just relax yourself. How to utilize time between mains and prelims. See, first focus on prelims. Then we'll talk about mains, what to do, and in our next once the prelims is completed, then we can decide how to utilize the time. Okay. Next, please provide info about increasing the marks in optional. I'm stuck at this. You have to message me. Please message me about this one. I would definitely respond which optional and which one you're talking about. And one of them have asked me which optional is mine. My optional is political science. If you have any doubts on political science and how to increase score or whatever it is, you can ping me personally. Next, tips for interview preparation. Madam, I'm not sure that I will get selected, but just wanted to know. See, don't be pessimistic. You don't have to explain me that I will not get I will get selected or not, I will not get selected or not. All the toppers who have not cleared in their earlier attempts have always prepared for their interview in that stage. No matter how the result is, as soon as they completed prelims, they started for their interview, and if they failed, they started for their prelims or mains. Okay. So coming to the interview, I would suggest that what you have to read for your interview is read about your district very much, read about Andhra Pradesh, and read newspaper regularly, please. The areas you have to focus is these three newspapers that covers your current affairs. What you have to do is from now on, if you have time and you are preparing only for APPSC interview, what you have to do is daily take the Indian Express. I would not suggest Hindu. Just take Indian Express, and if at all you want to pay, take the UPSC version that is coming recently. It is an yearly subscription and it's worth paying. Please pay for it. Invest in something that is going to be very useful for you. Don't look for Telegram channels where you can access this content. It's not accessible. So I would suggest you pay for it and take this one subscription. Try to read every day the content which they are giving only for specific for UPSC, and have a look on those topics from now at least, because in the last don't try to see that you'll prepare once the result will come, and if at all it comes, you will regret a lot by not preparing, because very little time will be left for you and you will not be able to cope up with the time given. For suppose your interview is on the very first day, what are you going to do? It's a disadvantage for you, and the result came you haven't expected your name will come, but you have actually got into that. You never know, right? So don't feel all that, and be confident and have trust on yourself and start preparing for interview, and read the newspaper. And coming to Andhra Pradesh, already you have read enough. Just brush up the things, same things you read for the exam. And about district, you can either go through NABARD. NABARD, there is a district report. Just go through that report of your district regarding agriculture, industries, okay, what is the status, or you can go through a district, there is a separate website for each district, and open the page and read about your district, read the status of your district, okay. Then so this is how you can prepare for the interview. Once the result will come, then we'll see what all things you can do it, and that's it. Now coming to hello, next question. Hello, ma'am. Suggest last 15 days. See, I have already told this 15-day strategy. How to enhance score in CSAT and revise current affairs. See, this time, if you want to prepare for CSAT, you have already must have done everything. I don't know, but I follow this 2 minutes technique. 2 minutes technique is something. Every question, or for especially for comprehension, because comprehension is something people score you easily. 25 plus questions will come from comprehension, so it can easily give you like more than 60 marks, right, if you are making it accurately. But here is something you should not waste time also. Within 1 hour you have to complete this 25 questions. Each one should be given only 2 minutes, not more than that. Even if you understand the question, not understand the question, if you are not able to do it with 2 minutes, just mark something and just go to the next question. That's it. In 25 questions, you will be able to answer at least 18 questions by reading the passage, but there are some questions, despite reading that passage, you will not be able to give the option, because options are confusing for you. That time, just put some option and just go to the next question. Don't waste any time. And coming to CSAT, next preference after comprehension should be your reasoning. Choose those questions which can be easily answered, okay, like be it relations, choose for such kind of. While reading comprehension itself, go through the question in between given, because questions are never in a format, right? Some comprehensions are given, then reasoning is given, then maths is given, then again comprehension, like 5 comprehensions are given. So this is how they set the paper. So during this time, just go through the topic, and if you feel that you can answer this question, just mark that question. Don't solve it, but just mark it that you are going to come back to that question once the comprehensions are completed. Okay, like that, after if you are completing the CSAT paper in 50 or 55 minutes comprehension, now you are left with 1 hour 5 minutes, but remove some questions for bubbling and all, at least 10 to 15 minutes for bubbling, and you are left with just another 15 minutes. So in these 50 minutes, how many you are going to solve? So try to make sure that reasoning at least 15 plus you solve it. Okay, once you are solving it, then go for CSAT questions. Okay, so ultimately in these 2 hours, try to make sure you are going for 45 plus questions in the final. So practice the CSAT test only to make sure that you are going to just attempt 45 plus, not just accuracy, just at least attempting 45 plus questions. Don't waste time on any one question. If you are not getting, just leave it immediately. You don't have that much luxury of time in CSAT based on the evolving paper. It's getting tougher and tougher. Okay. How you use these days to clear prelims. So simply I just brush up things. I don't give any long time for any particular topic. I just revise it very fast usually. If you find it genuine, please suggest how to tackle emotions at that stage. I'm saying you right. Paper will be tough, easy. Just you yourself judge it immediately. Perform there based on the common sense you developed all these months or years of investment of for this exam. With this kind of feeling, go with a very light mind. Don't go with any expectations what paper will be like. Just chill, talk to someone, or just stay alone and enjoy your time, enjoy your moment in that exam hall. Whatever the paper may be, just give the exam and come out simply. That's it. You cannot do anything. Just be and stress on yourself. Just pray to God or faith on yourself that you have did what you can do. Now it's not in your hand. Just perform the exam and just get it done. Because I know that it's saying is very simple, but I have also gone through these stages. Whenever there are attempts where I have panicked literally, despite reading and having lot of experience, because of panic, I have missed the cutoff just by one negative marking question. If I had not panicked or if I had gone with very free mind, I would have literally not gone into that negative for that one question. Okay, there will be instances where you will miss by maybe if you didn't mark that one question wrong, you would have been in the mains list. Okay, so don't do the mistakes which I have done. Go the person you see if you can also see that usually you get to know that you will always be wondering, right? I have never seen this person. Have he ever studied seriously? I'm studying for so many hours and this person is hardly studying or he is just chilling and then studying only for some time. But he is able to clear, I'm not able to clear. See, you have to understand this difference. Whatever time they study, they just study. And remaining time, they give their 100% even be it enjoying also. But there are some people who put all 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours only for studying. They ultimately end up in stress. Even though you study for those many hours, if you're doing something else also, you have to relax in that way. Because our brain is something which can take very limited amount of stress and information also. You cannot dump whole information into it. Okay, it's your brain. Keep it healthy and keep it happy. Just don't dump everything into the brain. Give it some rest and let it relax and sharpen your mind. Instead of just feeding it with information, sharpen its mind, start developing that thinking capacity and solving capacity. If you find it genuine, please suggest how to tackle the mission. Next one is as it mostly haunts and disrupts study. So don't disrupt your plans. If at all at any moment you're going through something bad that you're not able to control, just close your books, come out of your library or wherever study space it is, just leave it there and go out and do something else. Watch a documentary. I know that while watching documentary also you'll be worrying that I should have been studying there. I should have been gone back and learned a little bit this one, that one. No, even if you are studying, again your mind will deviate into something. So don't go in between this crisis and be very clear. First thing, anyone who clears prelims is they always have this clarity. They always make sure they just have to cross the cutoff. They don't make sure that I need to answer all questions or I need to get what correct whatever. They sacrifice some things, they take the risks, and they don't lose their clarity. Okay, you can ask me. And now coming to after this, after we are done with group one and whoever is not giving UPSC, what else I can offer you is, so I'm offering mentorship for UPSC, APPSC. This is all what you know. But apart from this, I have even invested some of my time giving interview and even working also. I worked as a High Court assistant, but I've resigned it. So you might see guidance for this one. And I have even given interviews of these also. So this is something I have cleared every year. but since I'm focused more on this one, my efforts for this one have always been very less. That is why I couldn't clear the final list. Okay, so these are the areas. If you anybody is seeking into this areas, you can go ahead. And people with 2020s who are giving attempt UPSC 2026, so here it is. I'm going to start mentorship from June. So please contact me after UPSC 25th May is completed. Prelims is done. Please contact me in June, not before that. I'll be starting in June for 2026 attempt people. Okay. So right now, do whatever you can do for this attempt. Like study something, start something, or explore the YouTube videos or topper talks. What you're going to choose? What are your questions, doubts? Then only doubts come, right? So do whatever you can do till this time, and once it is done, contact me in June so that it will be helpful. For any other thing also, see, whoever are feeling that I have failed in these things, you have many other options. IB notification is going to come. You can either prepare for this one, or NABARD notification comes every year, so you can also prepare for this one. Okay, High Court is also regularly picking up these things, so you can go for this one. Most of the time syllabus is the same, and EPFO is also going to come. Even APFC, you can contact for APSC also. So these are the areas. You can please contact me for whatever these exams. Mentorship will be available, and each one will be charged differently. Okay. I hope, let's end this session. It has been too long. Whatever doubts it may be, please get back to Telegram channel and subscribe to my channel, and join our Telegram channel also, and ping me there whatever your queries are. Okay. Have a great day. Keep studying and keep working hard. Okay. All the best. Take care and goodbye.